If you're in sales or you're an entrepreneur, stop lead generating. Stop obsessing over lead generation. Start thinking about adding value. Move into value generation. The truth about selling is it's not about your product, your service, or you. It's about the other person. I learned this life-changing lesson from my very favorite book, The Go-Giver by Bob Burg and John David Mann. Now, I have to stop right here because it happens to be Bob Burg's birthday. Bob, thank you for your friendship, your mentorship, and the opportunity to be a Go-Giver speaker and coach. In The Go-Giver, I learned some really valuable lessons about approaching business in a very different way. When I started in real estate, we were required to lead generate, build lead generation machines, and focus on nothing but lead generation from 9 to noon every single day. And so from 9 to noon every single day, I tried to do my best to generate leads. But what I discovered is mostly lead generation was all about getting other people to do things that sometimes they didn't want to do. Sometimes getting people to do things that really weren't in their best interest. So lead generation never felt that good to me. But I persisted. I ran a few leads. I ran a few lead generation programs, got a few leads, and I got a few clients. It wasn't easy. It was competitive. It didn't feel good, but it happened. But then I got a call after my first few clients from a referral. And I said, who am I competing with? Who else are you interviewing for the job of being your realtor? And they said, well, nobody, Grant. We were referred to you, so we plan to use you. And I thought, there's something really cool about referrals. I think I want more referrals. Right around that time, I had read The Go-Giver, and I put two and two together and realized there's something really wonderful here. I'm going to focus the rest of my career on referrals. And with the Go-Giver's laws of stratospheric success, the 5 laws of stratospheric success, I knew that I had a model I could use to help me build a business just like that. So today, I think I'll take you through those 5 laws of stratospheric success from the Go-Giver. But please, grab the book yourself, read it. It's a quick afternoon read, and I think you'll find a lot of joy and a lot of fun in the story, but also some life-changing lessons. The first law from the Go-Giver is the law of value. Your true worth is determined by how much more you give in value than you take in payment. For me, this is the most important law, and it's all about value generation, as I just mentioned. There are 3 primary ways that I found I can add value in any relationship, especially relationships with clients. And that is to share my connections, my expertise, and sometimes my compassion. As an example, I recently had spent some time reading through the news and noticed that a local nonprofit was closing. I knew that a neighbor of mine worked at that nonprofit. He happened to work in finance. So I reached out to him and said, gosh, I'm sorry to hear that the nonprofit you work at is closing. And I just want to let you know I'm here to help you in any way if possible. And he said, well, I'm the treasurer for this organization. Do you know any finance jobs in the nonprofit world? As it happened to be, I worked on the board of a nonprofit as a volunteer. And we had an opening for a finance person at the nonprofit. I connected this gentleman with our nonprofit. He got a job interview. He interviewed. They offered him the job. Unfortunately, they couldn't afford to pay him what he needed to support his family. But he thanked me very much and ended up taking a job out of state. Well, when he took the job out of state, guess who we happened to call when it was time to sell his house to move? Now, I was helping him because I wanted to genuinely help him. But it did end up happening that as I added value, it ended up also adding a sale to my spreadsheet. So that's all about the law of value. The second law is the law of compensation. Your income is determined by how many people you serve and how well you serve them. To me, I think it's important to create the life and income you want by creating the community you want. It's a virtuous cycle. As the community gets richer, my life gets richer, and I get richer. As I help people connect with each other, because the community is growing, I add more value into the world, and I generate more value and generate more sales. So for me, my number one job in sales is to grow my community and add value. Therefore, my calendar is filled with people, not tasks. And by the way, a calendar for me that's filled with people and not tasks means a much more fun life lived from a day-to-day basis. The third law is the law of influence. Your influence is determined by how abundantly you place other people's interests first. Referrals started flowing when I stopped looking for ways to get them, and I started looking instead for ways to give them. When I put other people's interests first and started thinking about how do I help them build their businesses, they turned around and helped me build my business. Now, again, it's not that I'm not interested in building a profitable business. And as the Go-Giver, as the book says, it's not about whether profit is this profitable will be the right question. It's just not necessarily the right first question. But placing other people's interests first has really helped me build a big referral business. I've gone from worrying about being top of mind with people and understanding it's more important to be top of heart with people. And top of heart means really looking out for other people's interests, because that's what's in my heart, to look out for other people's interests. The fourth law is the law of authenticity. The most valuable gift you have to offer is yourself. For me, I tell realtors I work with, don't be a realtor who happens to be a human being. Be a human being who happens to be a realtor. In one of my other favorite books, Fierce Conversations by Susan Scott, she says, come out from behind yourself and into the conversation. In other words, show up as you really are. Show up as you want to be. And if you've watched any of my other videos, you know this is a key theme. This is all about the law of authenticity. The fifth law is the law of receptivity. The key to effective giving is to stay open to receiving. So ask yourself, are you referable? Do you have a character that is referable? Do you believe that you show competence on a regular basis? Would you refer you? When you are referred, do you thank people? Do you let them know how much it means to you? Do you help them understand how it impacts your life? And most importantly, do you over-deliver on value for everybody that's referred to you? Last about the law of receptivity is to make sure that you truly believe that you deserve to be successful. This last part took a lot of inside work for me. It took a lot of coaching and a little bit of therapy too. I had to do work on my perspective and my mindset. So make sure that you look at your beliefs. Make sure that you're not holding yourself hostage with any limiting beliefs. You open the channel to receive referrals when you give referrals. So set an outgoing referral goal and work hard to meet it. And then allow people to attract to you. Value generation is so much more fun than lead generation because we're simply out in the world finding new ways to add value. So I invite you to take your next step, buy the book, read the book, learn the laws, live the laws, and you'll find great success too.